Ever feel like the internet's just one giant BY now button, like disguised as a website?
Oh, tell me about it.
Yeah, we've all been there, right? Scrolling, just trying to find something.
Sighing through all those ads.
Exactly. And that actually brings us perfectly to today's deep dive. One of you listeners, thank you, sent in some research about, well, search engine advertising. Specifically, do people actually like seeing those ads or not?
You know, it's funny because we all say we hate ads,
Right.
but this paper, it's called Are Consumers Averse to Sponsored Messages?
Catching.
It makes a pretty surprising argument.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Lay it on me.
They suggest that maybe, just maybe, we don't hate those ads as much as we think.
Interesting. So where do they even begin with that argument?
Well, they start by talking about this dilemma. It's a dilemma for both search engines like Google and for us, the users.
Okay, I'm with you.
Search engines, they want to show us the absolute best, most relevant results for whatever we're searching for, right?
Makes sense. I mean, that's their whole job.
Exactly. But, and this is a big but, the internet is huge.
Oh, yeah, that's an understatement.
Think over 100 trillion web pages. Huge.
Wow.
So even with those super sophisticated algorithms they've got,
Right, all that behind-the-scenes magic.
even with that, no search engine can truly, fully know everything that's out there.
So how do they fill in the gaps?
That's where this paper gets really interesting. They argue that advertising, those ads we sometimes love to hate, they can actually help.
Really? I mean, I guess that makes sense for newer businesses, right? Like, imagine opening up an amazing new restaurant, the best tacos in town, hands down, but...
But the search engine has no idea you exist.
Exactly. You haven't had time to build up reviews or anything, so how do you break through all the noise?
Advertising, it can be that megaphone. That way to cut through all the clutter and say, hey, we're here, we're delicious, come try us out.
So it's like those ads are giving us a sneak peek at things we might not have found otherwise. Like those you might also like suggestions, but for like the entire internet.
That is a great way to put it. And to actually study this, the researchers, they did a really clever experiment.
Oh, I love a good experiment. Tell me more.
They partnered with a major U.S. search engine, but they kept the name a secret for this study.
Smart move.
And they took this massive group of users and split them in half randomly.
Classic A/B testing. I love it.
Right. One group, they saw the usual amount of ads, just business as usual.
And get a group.
Significantly fewer ads. But here's the kicker. They didn't just remove ads randomly.
Okay, so what do they do?
They focused specifically on those mainline ads, you know, the ones right at the top of the search results.
Oh, yeah, the ones you see first thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, those are the ones that always catch my eye first. I feel like the ones on the side of the page, I kind of just tune those out.
Totally. And you know, it's interesting. There's actually eye tracking studies that show the exact same thing.
Really?
Yeah, we're naturally drawn to those top of the page results. It's like prime real estate for information.
Makes sense. So by focusing on those mainline ads, the researchers could really isolate what people were paying attention to. But they didn't just stop at, like, did people CLICK the ads more or less, right?
Nope, they took it a step further.
Okay, tell me they dove deeper into the data.
Oh, they did. They looked at the bigger picture. How did people use the search engine overall when they saw fewer of those mainline ads?
Okay, so how do you even measure that? You can't exactly watch over someone's shoulder while they're browsing the internet.
You're right, you can't. But they got really clever with their methods. They used this idea from behavioral economics. It basically says that people tend to gravitate towards tools that are genuinely useful to them.
Okay, so if those ads were helpful, removing them should make the search engine less useful overall.
Exactly. People would have to try harder to find what they need, maybe bounce around to different websites or try a bunch of different search terms, things like that.
So more work, less satisfaction.
And here's the thing, that's exactly what they found. The people who saw the usual number of ads, the ones who weren't deprived of those mainline ads, they actually ended up using the search engine significantly more.
Wait, so you're telling me that seeing those extra few ads actually helped people find what they were looking for more effectively?
The data says yes. And you know what? They make sense when you think about it.
How so?
Think about it. Those mainline ads were almost like little signposts pointing people towards information or businesses they might not have discovered on their own, especially in those fields where things are constantly changing those ads. They can be crucial for staying in the loop.
It's like they're saying, hey, we know you're looking for this specific thing, but while you're here, you might also like this.
Exactly. And what's even more interesting, They found this effect was even stronger for people who regularly use multiple search engines.
Oh, so the people who are really serious about finding the absolute best information online.
Precisely the ones who are willing to shop around and try different options if something isn't working for them.
So they're the ones who really know how to work the system.
Exactly. And they were more likely to stick with the search engine that showed them more mainline ads. That's telling, don't you think?
It is. It's like those ads were giving them a secret advantage in their online quest for information.
I like how you put that, a secret advantage.
Right.
And this whole thing, it really challenges us to rethink that automatic reaction we have, that ugh, ads response.
Right, because we tend to see all ads as inherently bad or annoying.
Exactly. But this study, it suggests that, at least when it comes to search ads, the ones we see when we're actively looking for information,
Maybe they're actually doing us a favor.
it seems that way even if we don't consciously realize it. It's like, instead of those ads being like intrusive billboards,
They're more like helpful road signs.
yes, guiding us toward things we might have otherwise missed. And this is where it gets even more interesting.
Okay, you've got my attention, lay it on me.
The researchers, they focus specifically on search ads, right? But what about all those other ads we see online? Like on social media, those sneaky pre-roll ads before videos?
Don't even get me started on those.
Right. Do we react to those the same way? Do we value information differently depending on where we encounter it online?
It makes you wonder if there's some kind of subconscious calculation going on in our heads.
Right.
Like we're weighing the value of the information against how annoying it is to see the ad.
Exactly. And that equation, it might even be different for each of us.
Right. Some people, they love those. You might also like suggestions, always finding cool new stuff.
Yeah.
And then others, they'd rather curate their own experience,
Yeah.
They want to be in control.
Absolutely. And that's what I find so fascinating about this whole conversation. This study, it doesn't give us all the answers, but it does open up a whole new world of questions.
It definitely makes you think twice about those ads.
It does. It challenges us to really examine our own online behavior, to think critically about all those assumptions we have about how the internet works and how advertising fits into that.
So, to our listeners out there, the next time you see an ad online, don't just automatically scroll past it. Take a second, actually look at it. Ask yourself, is this trying to tell me something useful? You might be surprised at what you discover. And on that note, that's your deep dive for today. Thanks for joining us on this little adventure to the unexpected world of search engine advertising. We'll catch you next time. Keep those browser tabs open and those minds curious.